The Party Finder in Final Fantasy XIV is probably the singular place where you can find some of the dumbest shit imaginable. If you haven't seen this stuff, you clearly haven't been playing the game long enough. Now, content during week 1 is a brand new experience. You get that great feeling when you start a new show, a new manga series, anime, stuff like that. It's pretty cool. But the problem here is that it degrades or goes down as time passes. Let's take Pandemonium Savage for example. Week 1, P3S. The bane of the Party Finder. It proved to us that people just can't count. You thought NA can't read? Well, EU can't count. To this day. Also, it's been a few months since the content released, but people still wipe to Darkfire, Fountain of Fire, constantly. Hell, even the first raid wipe in P3S. I don't know why that happens, but it just does. And I wonder what that's called. Something like consistency issue, perhaps? Now, I understand that mistakes can happen, it's natural. Even the greatest players have their worst moments, obviously, but let's not confuse the two things. They're different. People have different ways of progging a fight, especially when it's, fresh content. I try to experiment a lot during prog to get as much of it down before I clear the fight, and then refine it with a few more extra practice runs and maybe watch a couple of videos, my own was, because I record my prog and stuff like that. But when the content is fresh, there are no videos, so all you have is the encounter itself. You have to spend some time with it, learn the strats, talk to other players, brainstorm and all that stuff. What people will do is that they will join prog parties and farm groups when they aren't confident in checkpoint mechanics, in prog parties, and the entire fight for farm groups. And then this will cause wipes. You ask them what the issue is, and they will always say something really interesting. The point I'm trying to make here is that there is a clear difference between being able to clear an encounter and being confident in it. Repetition is what builds confidence and visual memory, but there are people in Party Finder who just don't know that. And if they do, well, they don't implement it or not practice it. Tell them that, and most people will give you the oldest reply in the books. Shut up, bro. We all make mistakes. That's a fact. What sets you apart from the rest is learning from those mistakes and making a conscious effort to fix them in and out of the game. Party Finder has a bunch of garbage takes too. Like, this one person told me that Dark Knight can't main tank in Endsinger Extreme. Like, all tanks can main tank, first of all. Even Gunbreaker with the kind of methods. But Endsinger Extreme is match damage for ages, and Living Dead was reworked. Why would Dark Knight not be able to MT in Endsinger Extreme, especially when you think about the fact that it has Dark Mind? And we all know where it shines the brightest, right? Besides, you don't really have the MT-OT logic in that fight outside of positions. The Tank Buster hits both, top and midi targets, so it's like whatever. And you only have auto attacks to worry about. I was also told that macros suck and they induce brain rot, that we should be using logic instead in Party Finder because there's only one macro out there for Endsinger Extreme. Well, guess what? You're wrong. And it's funny because that dude was a mentor too. And it's a bit embarrassing because I'm one as well, but it doesn't really matter. Anyone out there who thinks you can use logic in something as incoherent as Party Finder, instead of, talking it out, clarifying strategies and positions and all that stuff, maybe go out for a walk. This dude said that there's only one macro. Like for Endsinger or anything basically, no, there is not. Party Finder, at least on the EU side, changes one variable from a macro and creates multiple versions of that same strat for no real reason. There's no universal strat because one variable in these macros is always going to be different for whatever reason, and this practice leads to pointless, overcomplicated strats. Party Finder has low IQ, and that is something I told the guy because it's fact, and if you're getting mad at it, you know it's true. How do I know? I was a low IQ dude as well, but then I got better. And as if karma was on my side, excluding me and a couple others, everyone died on the first red planets, and then the 5 heads, and well, disappeared and forgotten. Macros suck is what he said, and they all died even with the macro that was in chat. I told him the same thing, and most of them left the party after that. The point here is that never let anyone talk big. You're in Party Finder, you need every bit of clarification possible before you pull the boss. because if you don't do that, it will lead to pointless wipes in situations where you least expect it to happen. Earlier, I talked about consistency issues, and I'm going to tell you right now they exist because even after so many months, people are wiping on water stacks and the light wave mechanic in Hydaelyn Extreme. They're wiping on Darkfire, Pinax, Intemperance, and Theban-S. It's just so embarrassing because a couple weeks ago, one of my P3S groups wiped on First Fledgling twice. Like, how does that even happen? Who the heck wipes on First Fledgling? How is that even possible? Funnily enough, those exact guys went on to clear P4S Part 2 Curtain Call on the first try without voice comms. That is a peak example of consistency problems. Seriously. In contrast, my static couldn't do it with voice comms even after 8 days of progging. It took us a while back when we were progging it, but we got it down. TLDR, most of the information in Party Finder is garbage, and people act like know-it-alls. Do your own research. Watch some videos from people who know what they're talking about. Learn your job, learn your opener, your rotation, all of that stuff. And remember to put in the effort because it translates not only to the game, but also outside of the game as well. With that being said, thank you very much for watching. Show some support if you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.